Yo, what is up guys, this is Squirrel here. Today I will be comparing the wonderful games of Splatoon and Splatoon 2 to determine which one is indeed better. As you may or may not know, I love Splatoon 1 and it was really the only reason this channel even exists, and without it I'd still be sitting on my couch playing Pokemon 24/7. So the only way to really determine which was the best without it being super opinionated is to have a couple categories we can rank both games in. I made the categories of 1. Appeal to new players, 2. Appeal to competitive or old players, 3. The ranking system, 4. Online content, and 5. Offline content or the story mode. So let's start off with the first marker on my list, which is appeal to new players. This may not seem very important, however, the appeal to beginners is what kicks a game off the ground. In Splatoon 1, when you make a new account, you are immediately launched into Inkopolis Plaza, and when you enter a turf match, your opponents are all people of equal level, being absolute noobs. Over time, this will continue to get worse, as there will be no new players and only seasoned veterans playing. However, when I first started back in 2015, I found it highly enjoyable as I worked up my way to the top, always playing against people of my skill. In Splatoon 2, I noted, you do not immediately start off with all players using the Splash Shot Junior and Basic Gear, and when I first played I was put with level 20s. For me particularly, this was not a problem as I'd had some skills from the first game, but when I made new accounts for my friends and they entered Turf War, it was not a fun experience for them and was disappointing from the trailers. Again, although they may have just been noobs and most people would say deal with it, starting Splatoon 2 can be rough for beginning players and may make them frustrated, and that is not the main goal of this game. For that, I give Splatoon 1 a higher ranking. The second item is the appeal to competitive or older players, which I feel Splatoon 2 nailed. As already explained, it launches you into a group of mid-level players and you can easily rank up to the top without bothering with the lower levels. As in my case, I ended up bypassing all of the C and B ranks when I first entered rank mode and therefore got to S+ rank when I was low leveled. It was really nice to be able to play at higher levels after only having the game for a short amount of time. In the first game, things were different as you had to work your way through all of rank C, B, A, and S in order to get to the top rank, S+ 99. The ranking systems were definitely different, which does also play a part as well, however that is a separate part of the games on its own. With that, I think that Splatoon 2 does provide more of an appeal to competitive players coming from the first game, as it let them get to the highest rank very quickly, while in the first game it was much more time consuming. Next up is the discussion on which games have a better ranking system. For those who don't know, in Splatoon 1 you started off with one singular rank for all modes and at rank C-. You were required to get to 100 points to rank up to C, which continued all the way to the max rank S+ 99. Also, the way you rank down was by reaching 0 points in a rank, but you did start with 70 points already, so it wasn't too challenging to rank up, and once you did, you get 30 points, so one loss wouldn't bring you back down. For most ranks, you'd be rewarded 10 points for winning and lose 10 points when losing a match, so on average it would take about 10 to 15 games to rank up. There is also a disconnect system, where if you started off with only 3 players, you would only lose 1 point as well. Now, I could go through the entire details of the ranking system, but that is not the point of this video. We are looking at if it is better than the current one, Splatoon 2, which I assume you all know. Honestly, this was extremely hard to judge due to the mass amounts of similarities and differences that they have. But I would have to say that the Splatoon 2 ranking system, as of the 3.2 update, is indeed better than the one in the first game. This is due to the fact that there is more of a chance to jump up the ranks if you are doing well. All your ranks aren't grouped into one, and there is an elite rank above all the rest, which is rank X. One last thought before we move on is something that I may repeat later in the video, and it is the fact that the Splatoon 1 ranking system should still not be thought of as garbage, as the Splatoon 2 ranking system started off very similarly before the mass amounts of updates ended up turning it into a changed product. Now I'll take on the portion of this game that really is this game, and that is the online content. I know this topic is very broad, and it really comes down to which game has a more interesting online experience that will keep it lasting for longer. The original installment in the Splatoon series is very close to dead at this point, due to the fact that there are only 3 ranked modes, Turf War, Squad, which is essentially League in Splatoon 2, and of course Private Battles. I've tried to go into Squad with some of my friends in 2018, and none of our many attempts were successful as simply not enough people are still playing that game. Splatoon 2 has done more to branch out by keeping all of Splatoon 1's online elements, but in addition bringing in Salmon Run, a team-based expedition to collect golden eggs, The Shore, a local wireless portion, many more maps, and loads of new weapons. And it's unarguable that the online experience for the second game is just, well, better, and it will surely last for some time after the updates stop being released. And here is the final part of a game that keeps it from dying completely after nobody plays it online anymore, the offline or story mode part. In the first game, this was Octo Valley, which included a deep storyline that provided a lot of info about the other characters in the game, and when you completed various levels and missions, you received weapons and gear. In Splatoon 2, they do continue the storyline, but in a very boring way, and not much is revealed, which left players disappointed in the Octo Canyon segment, and some even left it untouched. Had this video been made even just 3 months ago, I'd place the Splatoon 1 offline much higher than Splatoon 2's, but the release of Octo Expansion changes things. Although this DLC is not free and not everyone even has it, the 80 new levels that are by far more challenging than the simple 25 already in the game are much more fun to players. This huge amounts of story, and even unlocking many pieces of gear and even more characters, is what makes this an amazing Splatoon 2 content pack and boosts this game offline on top of the first games. So with that, although Splatoon 1 has a lot of memories for the original players and even for me myself, Splatoon 2 is simply just better overall with more content and building upon everything set in place in 2015. Splatoon 1 is by no means a bad game either, but at this point it's not as amazing as it was just a few years ago. With that, I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you are new and have not already, and have a wonderful rest of your day.